Hi humans, welcome to the Architects Workshop. I'm Lola of Tor. So as earlier stated in our introductory video, we will be going over some methods some interior designers use to set their prices when dealing with clients. And to begin, we will be talking about the hourly rate method, what it is, how to calculate it, and how to use it, as well as a little bit of the pros and cons associated with it. What does it mean to charge per hour? When you charge your client per hour, it implies that you track every single minute you spend working on the client's project, whether it's making calls, brainstorming ideas, putting together documentation, or doing field work on their behalf. Whatever it is, as long as you spend that time doing something that is related to the client's project, you include it in a detailed invoice, a detailed document, and you send it to them. This document usually will include time, activity, and rates, right? It lets them know the number of hours you have spent working on their project and how much the project has cost them so far. The advantage of this method is that you as the designer get paid for your time. Every second, every minute, every hour you spend working on the client's project is paid for. And in the case of the client does not have to spend too much money on a certain project, especially if the project is something that doesn't require a lot of time or any special skill set to complete. However, there is a disadvantage to this method. While we now have technology that lets you track your time as you work and even helps you take frequent screenshots of your desktop to prove to your client that you are working on their project during the time that you say you are working on their project, there is still no way that the client can know that you are not intentionally working slower to increase the number of hours they will have to pay for. And again, this method could lead to the client unintentionally micromanaging you as the designer because no one wants to pay for something that they are not getting value for. For this and many other reasons, hourly rates are not very common here in Nigeria. However, the work environment is changing daily, and now it's possible to work in Dubai, France, and Canada simultaneously, all from the comfort of your bedroom. So as a freelancer, it might be beneficial for you to know what your hourly rates are. And I believe it could serve as a good base to start off from pricing your project, especially when you have no idea how much you should charge for a certain project. So how do we calculate the cost of the project using our hourly rate method? First, we have to determine what that hourly rate should be in the first place. This will differ from person to person, depending on whether you're running a business or running solo as an aspiring entrepreneur, or what your general goals and aspirations for your career and business are. First off, you have to decide how much you want to earn every month. So let's assume that figure is 100k, 100,000 naira monthly. So in a year, that would be 1.2 million naira. Now, decide how many hours you want to work weekly. So let's say you work 8 hours a day for 5 days. That will amount to 40 hours a week, right? Now, you have to decide how many weeks you want to take off. Let's say 4 weeks for vacation in a year. So if we have 52 weeks in a year and we take 4 out of those 52 weeks for vacation, it means that the total number of weeks you're going to be working for in a year will be 48 weeks. Are you still with me? Alright. If in a week you work for 30 hours, it means that in 48 weeks you would work for 1,920 hours. So now, you say you want to earn 1.2 million naira yearly, which means that within 1920 hours you will earn 1.2 million naira. So therefore, your hourly rate will simply be the 1.2 million naira that you want to earn yearly divided by the total number of hours you plan to work yearly. So that would leave us with 625 naira. So your hourly rate will amount to 625 naira. Now, it's generally advised to give room for tax. Tax in Nigeria ranges from between 7% to 24%. So 24% of that amount, 625 naira, is 150. And let's just give another 10 to 20% for other miscellaneous things that might come up, right? Accidents and all of that, right? So 20% of 625 naira is 125. If we add all of that together, we get a flat rate of 900 naira only, which, as at today, recording day 14th August 2021, is relatively $2.19. Yeah, laughs in inflation rates. How do we use this figure? Some people simply use this formula where you multiply the number of hours you spend on a project, or you plan to spend on a project, by your hourly rate to come up with a total cost for the client. Which means, assuming creating a floor plan for your client, doing the space planning of maybe their living room, and coming up with the floor plan for presentation and all of that, even inclusive of the presentation time, or even maybe exclusive of the presentation time, everything is going to be about 10 hours, right, working on that project. It means you would then multiply 10 hours by your hourly rate, which is now 900 naira, right? And that will give you an estimate of 9,000 naira. It seems small, right, for 10 hours of work. Another approach could be this way, right? So let's still take the example of planning out your a living room for your clients, right? And still with the estimated number of hours being 10. You're going to multiply the 10 hours by your hourly rate, which is 900 naira, which will now give you 9,000 naira as the charge. But you don't stop there. That is just for your service, right? For your service of that period of drafting when you calculate it via your hourly rate. But now you have to include or take into account other things, because that's just for your time that you will be working. Now, there are other expenses that you also have to take note of, such as fuel for generator. We know how light is here. Transportation to and fro, right? Maybe even for delivery services, rent, staffing. If you're a business owner and you're employing people, you have to take note of all of this. Cost of software, Revit, AutoCAD, and all these other ones, they cost mad money, man. And if you're using them in your workflow, you have to account for the professional, the yearly rates. And if you're using any other software that you pay yearly for, even Google and all of that, you should include all of this. What you can do is you can sum up the total amount these cost you in a month and try to get the hourly value of it. So let's say the unit hourly value in our own case comes down to about 50,000 naira. This will vary. If your office is probably in VI, Lekki, Banana Island, or somewhere in Tima, Sokoro, all these government quarters area, obviously it can't be the same with someone staying on the outskirts, because rent is mad. Rent is mad over there. So let's say for us it comes down to a unit price of 50,000 naira. So then we're going to add our hourly rates, right, for our time, which is at 9,000 naira, to our expenses that we have already calculated, the expenses and the cost of production, which is 50,000 naira. So now we have 59,000 naira. Then you now still have to include a profit margin, maybe of about 20%, because you are not a mumu and you need this business to be around for a long time so that it can grow and keep growing and profiting, and your children's children can inherit it. So if we take 20% of 59,000, we're going to have 11,800. If we add that to the total, we come down to a total of 70,800 naira, right? Another thing you have to take into consideration is that Nigerian clients enjoy pricing down services, right? So you have to give allowance for that pricing, and it could be a margin between 10% to 25. Because, my dear, anybody that's trying to price your services beyond a certain percentage, just run. Just run. They don't understand the value of what you're bringing to them, and it will only result in problems at the end of the day, right? But it is noteworthy that this method of pricing only pays for your time and not the value you bring to the table, and definitely not for your skill level and experience. At the end of the day, it is left to you to determine what your time is worth and attach a price to it. So tell us, have you tried using this method in your business? How well has it worked for you? Or do you think it's something you can integrate into your business as a freelancer or a business owner? In the next video, we are going to be discussing how some interior designers charge their clients using the per day or per square meter arrangement. Until next time, we remain your self-development partners. Thanks for watching.